I mean, according to reports, they've reviewed them all already. Just release them. And if there's material that has to be withheld, there's vehicles to withhold them. So what else is going on, huh? Epstein. I mean, don't get me started. So first up is we have a lawsuit for the Epstein records, and we haven't gotten one record under FOIA yet. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. If you can explain why that's the case, tell me. But there's no reason, and it just shows you, I don't know what's happening at the Justice Department and the FBI that they haven't gotten around to giving us the records yet. They admit they're reviewing them, yet not one document's been released. Not even the videos they released have been given to us under FOIA. Really unacceptable. And then there are these news reports this week. I talked about last week a little bit. Supposedly Trump sent a letter to Epstein wishing him a happy birthday, and it was bawdy, says the Wall Street Journal. And his name shows up in the Epstein files generally, according to reports, which is about as surprising as the sun rising. Trump was known to have been a friend with Epstein, and unlike virtually everyone else around him, he seemed to be the only one who did anything once he figured out he was probably a creep and kicked him out of his home and the Mar-a-Lago Club. So the fact that his name pops up is no surprise, and it ought to be no embarrassment other than him being just associated with a bad guy like him, even in an innocent way. But of course, Bill Clinton's name shows up a billion times, not literally a billion times. And Judicial Watch separately investigated Bill Clinton's trips on Epstein's plane. Interestingly, the Secret Service said they had no records, even though it was clear Clinton was traveling as a former president on the plane. How did that work? Did he not have Secret Service protection? And if he didn't, why not? And then it's now the case that the criminal investigation into Epstein's activities, and anyone else potentially, has been reopened, it looks like. Todd Blanche, the number 2 at the Justice Department, flew down to Florida and spent 2 days visiting and interviewing and questioning Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the only person in jail for Epstein-related crimes. She's in jail for 20 years for grooming, etc., underage minors. So my question is, well, actually, I talked about it. Let's go to the videotape. I was on Fox News last night with my friend Kevin Cork, and we talked about the Epstein issue. Let's run it.
Bring in the author of Rights and Freedoms in Peril, Judicial Watch President and friend of the show, Tom Fitton. Great to have you with us. I'm going to share this. This is Todd Blanche, actually, with a post on X. Again, talking about this idea that, you know what, it's good to have these meetings. He said, today I met with Ghislaine Maxwell, and I will continue my interview of her tomorrow. The Department of Justice will share additional information about what we learned at the appropriate time. What, if anything, should we draw from that?
Well, maybe she gave them more information. I'm a little skeptical that she has much more information. I mean, look, her position is she did nothing wrong. Is she going to say she saw something wrong happen? Others were involved in criminal attacks on young women. If so, why didn't she do anything about it, and how did she enable it? So there may be less there than meets the eye. The other big question is why wasn't she interviewed before?
Yeah.
And why did the DOJ and FBI conclude there was nothing else to be done just a few weeks ago without interviewing the one person who they put in jail over the issue?
Yeah, and that's the part that's most perplexing to me. Why make such a proclamation? First of all, no one asked you for that. Second of all, does that mean you've talked to everyone? Did you disclose everything? And if there were people injured, young girls in particular, there has got to be an arrest or several arrests for the Johns who took part.
So they got to get the documents out. It's really that simple. And we've got the FOIA lawsuit. Give us the documents under FOIA. I mean, according to reports, they've reviewed them all already. Just release them. And if there's material that has to be withheld, there's vehicles to withhold them. They've sought, Justice Department has sought approval from the courts to release certain grand jury materials. It's under consideration in one court. Another court essentially rejected it. So we recognize we may not be able to get everything that, the American people may want under law. But we know there are documents that can be released now. And I don't know what else to say other than they got to get released. They've got to get released. There's no good reason to hold the material up. And it's going to come out. Now, the Congress is going to subpoena the records. They're going to subpoena witnesses as well. Bill and Hillary and all the rest. I mean, Epstein talks about himself, according to his lawyers. I think I had a tweet about it. Go to the Tom Fitton. Oh, this is strange. I can watch myself on Twitter. Oh, I can't find the tweet. Hold on a second. Here, look at this. This is what I tweeted out in 2019. So that is 6 years ago. Mr. Epstein was part of the original group that conceived the Clinton Global Initiative, which is the Clinton fundraising scheme, part of the Clinton Foundation, according to his lawyers. And there below you can see me talking about how the Epstein death was a disaster for the rule of law and the Justice Department. Who do you trust? They got to get the information out. It's 6 years later, 7 years later. They've got to get the information out. And Trump's right to be annoyed. And his Justice Department and FBI, they screwed things up. I mean, they issued a memo closing down the Epstein investigation without having talked to Ghislaine Maxwell, the only person who's in jail on Epstein. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I don't have a reasonable explanation for that. I have many explanations, none of which make the Justice Department or FBI look good. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. The handling of the Epstein investigation further confirms the need to have a separate, independent investigation of pretty much anything politically sensitive that needs to be done, because there's kind of an air of they don't know what they're doing. That's the most charitable way of putting it. Keystone Cop type of approach. So we'll keep you updated. I mean, we've been asking the justice. It's not like we're just sitting on our hands here. We're in federal court demanding the Epstein records. Congress hasn't asked for them yet. We have under law. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.